Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the July 12th, 2025 meeting of the Haverford Township Board of Commissioners. Before we begin, I'd like to make a note that the Board of Commissioners met in executive session prior to this meeting to discuss legal and personnel matters. We'll begin meeting with the roll call, so I'll ask our Township Manager, Dave Berman, to please take the roll.
Commissioner Gondek.
Present.
Commissioner Forsty Grupp is away. Commissioner Cavender.
Present.
Commissioner Holmes.
Here.
Commissioner Quinn.
Here.
Commissioner Hart.
Here.
Commissioner McCollum.
Here.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Here.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Here. Thank you. Now ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Chief Viola.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Thank you. We'll now begin with our presentations, and we'll begin with a presentation of the 2024 independent audit results presented by Christopher Herr from Maley LLP. Mr. Herr, welcome.
Hi there. Good evening, everyone. Chris Herr,
Auditors for 2024. Very happy to be here to finally present the results of that, which we did finish about 2 months ago. I think you have a hard copy of a short summary I have that hopefully will cover all the major points from the audit. So diving right in, the first page here, the summary of findings and results. The financial statement audit, our auditor's report did express an unmodified opinion. That is the most positive opinion you can have on your financials. What that means in essence is that in our opinion, the statements are free of any material misstatement. They comply with GAAP. That's all generally accepted accounting principles. They comply with GASB rules. That's the Governmental Accounting Standard Board that creates financial rules specific to governments. And no scope limitations during the audit. We come in with a very large list of documents we need, everything from bank statements to invoices to W-2s, anything you think of to do with the numbers, and we did receive everything we needed to conduct the audit. No instances of non-compliance, no instances of findings. And one of the things that I'm looking for whenever we talk about findings or recommendations to come out of the audit, I really usually look at two things. One is internal controls. That's the processes that Township has over how are you processing receipts, disbursements, payroll, reconciling bank statements, really anything to do with the numbers. We do review all those controls, and at the end of the audit, we thought everything was done really well. The other thing we look at is journal entries. How many adjustments did we have to make as part of the audit? Very, very few here. I think we had 3 or 4, and I think they were all related to kind of new GASB pronouncements. So what that tells me is that you guys are getting really good numbers on an ongoing basis for your decision making. So all really good things there. The uniform guidance audit, this is the audit of federal awards. Again, an unmodified opinion on the single audit of federal awards. No deficiencies or material weaknesses noted in internal controls. We did have to look at 3 programs this year. Coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery. This is the ARPA funding that was released during the pandemic. You had about $6 million of spending there on a variety of things: sewer, water improvements, local business support, recreation facilities, parks, fields, things like that. It was a very robust grant, so spending on a variety of things there. Highway and planning, that was about $1.7 million that was spent on trail improvements. And then the Economic Development Initiative grant, $1.8 million was spent there, and that was for the library. Low risk auditing, all that means is that you've done single audits in the past 2 years with no issues. Everything was filed on time. And again, no findings or question costs. So it's probably the most important page of this presentation, and it's all pretty good news. Significant estimates, I always like to point out a few of the big estimates that are in the report. This is page 2. So net pension liability for your police plan and your non-uniform plan. This is the total actuarial calculated liability less any money held in investments for the pensions. Police plan came down a little bit. $24 million liability last year. It was about 69% funded. That liability came down to $22.7 million, 72% funded. So that did come up about 3%. The non-uniform pension plan, Again, also a decrease in the liability. Went from about 12.5 down to about 10.2 million. Went from 75% funded to 80% funded. And both of those plans had about a 10% return on investment during the year. Then there's the total OPEB liability. This is other post-employment benefits other than pensions. This is like post-retirement health care. Again, a small decrease, 54.5 million down to 53 million, and that was really just driven by some changes in the actuarial estimates. Capital assets, depreciation, accumulated depreciation for your governmental activities, total cost of assets. This is building, land, equipment, vehicles, everything. About 154 million. Accumulated depreciation on that is about 56 million. So you're about a third of the way through the life of your assets, which is pretty low. Most municipalities I go to, I feel like it's between 40, 60%. So that shows really good investment in the infrastructure of the township. Similar with the sewer assets, cost is 9 million, accumulated depreciation is 2.6. So again, about 30% through the life of those assets. Just to get into a few of the numbers here. First table here is your revenues year on year. The blue is the prior year, orange is the current year. Your taxes, obviously that's the big revenue for the township, went from 32.2 up to 33.2 million. So about $1 million increase there. Most of that's property taxes. For 24, it's about 27.6 million of your revenue. It's up about 600,000. That was driven by a millage increase going from 23 to 24. Transfer taxes are up about 100,000. BPT was up about 300,000. So some small increases there, but most of that's driven by your transfer or your property taxes. Big jump in the intergovernmental revenues, went from 8.3 million to 16.1. That's going to be all those federal grants that I was just talking about on the prior page. The ARPA spending, the library grant, and the trail grants. Charges for services, really flat year on year, 8.8 million. That's your trash, your recreation programs, stadium. And then your sewer, again, very flat, about 4.6 million a year. Down under expenditures, public safety, pretty stable, went from about 23 million up to 24.2 million. When I look at the detail there, wages were up about 700,000. Health benefits were up about 200,000. Your pension contribution was up about 700,000. So we're kind of overshooting now that $1.2 million overall increase, but what did decrease was capital spending. The big thing that happened in 23 versus 24 was in 23, you had about a $500,000 payment for a fire apparatus, a pumper unit. So that went away, so we had a little bit of a decrease there in capital expenses. Public Works, a little bit of increase there, went from about 10.8 to $13.2 million. Some of the big things I saw there, 2024 had a much more robust road program, and there was also a park and ride facility that was worked on in 24, didn't happen in 23. Really, really big jump here in park and recreation, went from 6.6 million up to 21.3. That's going to be your library, which was somewhere around $11 million of spending on improvements there. Trail work, about $2 million there in 2024. Stadium chiller replacement looked like that was about $1 million. So some really, really big projects in 24 versus 23. And your sewer went up from about 4.1 to $4.7 million. When I looked at that, it really looked like what I see at every other municipality that has sewer. It's your treatment costs. Have really been going up there. Then on the last page, bonds payable, your outstanding debt went from about 59.5 million down to 46.5. Nothing significant, just $3 million principal payment during the year. And the last table, fund balance. What fund balance is if we look at your balance sheet, we take your assets, we pay off all your liabilities. This is what is left. So the the blue line there, that's your general fund balance. So over the last 3 years, trending upwards, 33 million up to 37 million. This year, 39 million. If we compare the 39 million of fund balance to your annual expenses of about 52 million, about 75%, which means if you had no money coming in and expenses, in 25 is 20, they were in 24, you could go business as usual for about 9 months. So that's a good fund balance. Solid, your expenses are constantly increasing, so it kind of makes sense that that line would tend to trend upwards as well. The gray line is your sewer. Pretty stable, 16 million 2 years ago. Then it was 17 million last year and this year. So very stable line. And then the orange line is kind of everything else, mostly capital projects. And that one's going up and starting to fall down. The reason for that was at the end of 22, it had 3.2 million. What happened in 23? New bond money. You went out and got $20 million for capital projects. You also sold a cell tower for $3 million. So all of a sudden you had $23 million coming in, shot that up, and now in 24, we see you're starting to spend that on all these projects. So now it'll start to drop down. That's what always happens with other governmental. It kind of goes up and down based on your needs. That is really everything I have for the audit. Again, really good audit. Finance team did a great job. Appreciate all their help getting us everything we need to get it done efficiently, effectively. Any questions?
I'll open up the floor to my colleagues for any questions or comments. Hearing none, Mr. Hurd, thank you so much, and congratulations to our finance department. Excellent work.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll move on to Ms. Terry Grassi from A.J. Dunleavy Associates, Inc., to present on our community development block grant funding and to offer more information about our act plans under consideration as resolutions later this evening.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Terry Grassi. Our firm, A.J. Dunleavy Associates, facilitates the CDBG grant funds for Haverford Township. The CDBG projects chosen by the township are attached to the resolution 2453-2025 and described in the 2025 5-year consolidated plan and action plan. This year, HUD has awarded Haverford $803,312 for 2025. The projects are as follows: housing rehabilitation, crosswalk improvements, Minerva Road and Woodland Avenue, Oakford Culvert repairs, Phase 2, historic preservation at Niter Hall, Phase 1, HVAC replacement, historic preservation at the Grange Estate for tree removal, homeless assistance, Surrey services for seniors, Delgo transportation for seniors, fair housing education, and general program administration. A public hearing for citizen comment was held, but no one attended, and the first request for a copy of the action plan was provided, but no comments were yet received. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll open up the floor to any of my colleagues have any questions or comments relating to the presentation. Thank you again. So we'll now move on to agenda item number 3 to hear a presentation of a proclamation to Ian Wyatt Taylor, which will be read by Vice President McCluskey.
Ready? Yeah. Okay, we have a proclamation here for Mr. Taylor. Mr. Taylor's going to be a senior at Haverford High School. Whereas the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Haverford, County of Delaware, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, takes great pleasure in acknowledging notable achievements of young adults in the community. And whereas the Board of Commissioners wish to applaud Ian Wyatt Taylor of the Boy Scouts of America for earning the rank of Eagle Scout. And whereas Ian, who has earned the rank of Eagle Scout, resides in the 3rd Ward of Haverford Township. He started scouting as a tiger cub in 1st grade at Coopertown Elementary School in 2014. And whereas Ian's Eagle Scout project involved designing and building 2 flag retirement boxes for the Oakmont and Brookline Fire Companies. With the guidance from his uncle, a professional carpenter, Ian planned the design, consulted Oakmont Fire Company on materials and dimensions, and created a cut and materials list. He and his uncle constructed the box's components over several weekends. Ian then led fellow Troop 19 scouts in the final assembly, including sanding and sealing the boxes. And whereas continued his scouting achievements by earning bronze and gold palms for completing 10 additional merit badges beyond the 22 required badges, he is currently working on completing the gold merit badge, for which he would then earn a silver palm for completing 15 additional merit badges. Ian has held leadership roles as a troop librarian and instructor and after earning the Eagle Scout rank, he voluntarily took on the role of Assistant Junior Scoutmaster, helping Scouts advance through their rank requirements. Known for his commitment to service, Ian has participated in numerous volunteer activities, including participating in his fellow Scouts' Eagle projects and community events like Bryn Mawr Day and Haverford Township Day. He is also an active member of the National Honor Society, where he has volunteered his time working with special education students at Chestnut Wold Elementary School. And whereas outside of scouting, Ian is a dedicated athlete and rising star on the Haverford High School Ultimate Frisbee team. He also plays in an adult summer league and weekly pickup games. Looking ahead, he aspires to pursue a career in physical therapy and hopes to shadow at a local practice over the course of this summer. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Haverford, County of Delaware, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, that said Board of Commissioners hereby acknowledges and congratulates Ian for his many contributions to his community with long hours and dedicated work. The board's blessings go with him as he faces new challenges. Proclaim this 14th day of July, 2025, Judy Trombetta, President. His parents are here tonight if they want to come up and take a picture. Good. All right.
Congratulations. Vice President McCluskey, can you turn that around? Thank you. Thank you. So we'll now open up the citizens forum portion of our meeting. Each speaker will be given approximately 3 minutes to share their remarks. We'll begin with individuals who registered up in advance, and during this portion, we also welcome comments on agenda items. If you wish to speak about a matter not on tonight's agenda, then you'll have the opportunity to do so during the second citizens forum later this meeting. So with that, I'll invite our first registered speaker to the podium, Ms. Felicia Hurwitz from Ward 3.
Ward 8-3. It's okay. Felicia Hurwitz. Well, I usually come here and talk about trees, so I'm sure that's what everyone is expecting. But I'm going to shift a little bit, still in the vein of a Debbie Downer, and talk about another area of the environment, which is pesticides. The rates of pesticide contracts in this township have exploded. And by contracts, I mean people spraying systemic pesticides just to kill all the bugs on their property. Not, oh, I have a wasp nest and I need to remove it, but just I want to kill everything. And I know this because last year I got on the hypersensitivity list for the state. And when you go on that, people have to inform you if they're spraying within 500 feet of your property. And they have to, if you ask for it, send you the label of what they're spraying. So I know what people are spraying within 500 feet. And I know that every week, 2, 3, sometimes 4 properties within 500 feet of my property are systemically spraying toxins that are wiping out all the insect life on their property, that are wiping out our endangered pollinators, our native bees and beetles that we need to pollinate in the future so we'll have food in this world. Wiping out our birds because the insects, the caterpillars that they eat become toxic. Wiping out our aquatic life because if you spray and then you get a rain like this, it's all going to go into our water. And it's really out of hand and nobody is tracking it. So why is this happening in our township? Well, I have a window into that too. And it's because solicitors are going door to door and misrepresenting what they are doing and offering contracts. They're saying something like, your neighbor is getting this systemic spray and it's killing all their bugs, and because we're coming out for your neighbor, we can give you, a special deal on a contract. And once they sign you up for the contract, it's really, really hard to get out of it. And there's been incidents where people are reporting to the Better Business Bureau so they can't get out of because they can't get out of it. Now, I know this because one came to my door, and I talked with him about it. He was a college student who was shipped in here, a very smart young man, was trained up with false information about the pesticides he was spraying, saying that they're not toxic to bees, not toxic to birds, etc. It was completely false. I showed him the label. It says right on the label. Okay, but he was doing this. It's actually illegal to misrepresent pesticides. But this guy was going door to door. He didn't know he was doing something illegal. He didn't know he was doing something false. He had been trained that way. He's not from around here. And this is going on all over the township. And people are signing up for these contracts, and they're destroying our environment. So I'm going to ask you guys, you can restrict pesticide use. There's a preemption clause in the state. And so municipalities cannot restrict pesticide use. But you can certainly restrict solicitation. And you can not allow places like EcoShield, which was the offender that knocked on my door, to go door to door and sell this product fraudulently, misrepresenting what they're doing. So that's something that this body could do. A second thing you could do is maybe change your laws against weeds, because weeds aren't really defined. So, a weed over 8 inches, you're not really supposed to have on your property. But a lot of pollinating plants could be construed as weeds. Maybe we can be a force to join the anti-lawn movement here in Havertown. And we can start to say, you know what, it's okay to have kind of a wild lawn that's attracting pollinators. Instead of having grass, which is basically a desert for pollinators, and which is going to elicit this kind of systemic spraying on lawns. So there's 2 reasons people are spraying: mosquitoes and lawns. And maybe we can reduce both types of spraying, educate our children about the need to, preserve our pollinators, educate our children about ways to get rid of mosquitoes, like mosquito dunk, killer mosquito buckets that you can make yourself cheaply. Maybe we can start educating our township about better ways to do this and be a leader in the community, in the broader community, on the environment. Thank you.
Thank you. There are no other registered speakers, so I'll now open it up to the audience for anybody who wishes to speak on an agenda item this evening. Anybody on the left-hand side, front row, second row? Seeing no. On the right-hand side over here? Mr. Barsky? No? Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hurwitz, for coming and joining us and providing your comments. I'd like to open up the floor to my colleagues on this board for any responses or remarks at this time. Hearing none, we'll move on, but thank you again, Ms. Hurwitz. At this time, I'd like to invite our Chair of the Commissioners' Fire Committee, Commissioner Gondek, to share this month's Bureau of Fire update. Commissioner Gondek, the floor is yours.
Thank you. The Haverford Township Bureau of Fire report for June of 2025 had a total incidents of 124, of which 111 were township incidents and 13 were out-of-township mutual aid incidents. Average personnel per call was 16. We completed 1,686 personnel hours committed to incidents and 575 personnel hours committed to training. The Haverford Township Bureau of Fire provided mutual aid to 5 working fires within Delaware County. It also responded to 26 calls during the severe weather on 6/19 to 6/20. A total of 336 personnel hours were committed. The Haverford Township Bureau of Fire also responded to a working fire at 131 Strathmere Road on 6/26. 57 members from the 5 township companies responded and were on scene for an hour and 31 minutes. That is the report.
Thank you, Commissioner Gondek. Do my colleagues have any questions, comments? All right, moving on. So at this time, I'd like to invite our Township Auditor, Mr. Ross Anderson, to share his monthly report. Mr. Anderson, the floor is yours.
Good evening. I have reviewed the warrants and expenditures for this meeting. I found no irregularities, and all my questions were answered to my satisfaction. In addition, I have a prediction that's going to be Tigers and Phillies in the World Series. Mark me on that one.
All right, thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite our Township Manager, Dave Berman, to provide his update for this month. Mr. Berman, the floor is yours.
Good evening. As we continue through the summer months, I just want to take a moment to thank the dedicated members of our Public Works Department for their extraordinary work. But it's not just them. In the immediate aftermath, our police department received more than 200 reports of downed trees, wires, poles, road closures. They were out in that mess, and our other first responders were out as well, our volunteer firefighters, folks who work in EMS. But really, our tree crew, that's what I want to talk about. They worked tirelessly in dangerous conditions following the storm for days. The heat indices were like 100 degrees, and they worked every day clearing one tree after another. There were dozens and dozens of trees that we were responsible for, not to mention all the trees that fell on private property. So it was just an amazing amount of work. So I was going to ask you to join me in the round of applause, but you already did, and I appreciate that. So just a couple of safety reminders when we talk about the weather ahead and the weather tonight. When we have thunderstorms and you see downed wires, always assume the wire is live. That's what we have to do when there's a tree that's impacted by wires. We have to wait for PICO to arrive before we can work in the area of the downed wire. If you see downed wires, don't go anywhere near it. Don't assume it's safe. Call 1-800-841-4141. That's the PICO number. During heavy rains like we're having this evening, we need you to monitor local forecasts and be ready to act if flash flood warnings are issued. I always recommend folks to move their vehicles and other valuables to higher ground if you're in a flood-prone area. And as I mentioned, we've been having extreme heat this year. We need everybody to stay hydrated, limit your outdoor activity, check in on your neighbors. We're especially concerned about the elderly or those without air conditioning. So in the end, I just want to thank not just the employees, but the folks in the community, all of our residents, for your patience, your resilience, and your support during these events. I hope everybody stays safe, stays informed, and let's look out for one another. And that's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Berman. Any questions or comments?
I have a question. On another topic, Manager Berman, I wanted to ask about the next steps for the rewrite of the zoning ordinance after the comprehensive plan was passed last month. What's the process for that?
Thank you. There is we hired a consultant, and we've talked about this quite a bit for the last several months, called FHI Studio, currently known as IMEG, and we'll be working with them and a steering committee to have a project kickoff. And I believe, I'm going to ask
July
Director of
31st.
Community Planning, Jamie Gelosian, to weigh in on when we're going to get this kicked off.
But by the end of this month, we will have the zoning ordinance steering committee kickoff meeting. And then we are going to look into further educational engagement opportunities in the fall. We're just finalizing some dates, so I can't quite settle on share those yet, because we haven't quite settled on them. But there will be plenty of engagement opportunities to come. We are specifically looking at a zoning course to offer for Haverford Township residents that is part of a zoning course that is offered throughout the state of Pennsylvania, just a kind of introduction course, which would help. And that's kind of all we've gotten off the chute at this
Well, that's great.
time.
The zoning course, it's the course in zoning. It's offered by a statewide organization that many of us have already been to those classes, and they're going to come here in this room and offer that class for any residents who would like to attend. And it'll be over the course of 3 weeks, 3 evenings. I think it's going to be on a Wednesday evening, but I think you're still working on those dates.
I don't have the dates finalized yet.
But it will be over 3 weeks. It'll be in the evening, and it'll be right here in this room. So stay tuned for those dates.
Do you have plans as you start the process for public engagement, where people can give their input to the process?
Yeah, I do think that during the steering committee kickoff meeting, there is a public engagement plan that's going to be shared. So I'll know just a little bit more about it by the very end of this month.
Okay. I mean, I think one of the things I heard in the many discussions we had about the comprehensive plan was just how much people want to be involved and how important public engagement is to them. I think about Haverford Road and, you know, the dense neighborhoods down there and the mix of uses with the land. And, you know, I think it's important that we make sure people feel heard and know that that's a big part of this rewrite of the zoning ordinance.
Thank you, that's great. Thank you. Any further comments from my colleagues? All right, we'll move on to the approval of minutes. So agenda item number 8, approval of minutes. I'll entertain a motion.
Yes, I move to approve the meeting minutes of June 9th.
Second.
Heard a motion and a second. The motion is now open for discussion. Are there any questions, comments, additions, deletions to the minutes? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Mr. Berman?
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes, motion passes. Thank you. We now move on to agenda item number 9, the approval of warrants. I will now entertain a motion.
Madam President,
Commissioner Holmes?
I move we approve warrant number 7 of 2025 totaling $6,691,314.28, comprising the general and sewer fund payroll for June 18th, 2025 in the amount of $818,678.56. The general and sewer fund payroll for July 3rd, 2025 in the amount of $811,745.48. General fund disbursements in the amount of $3,781,252.55. Sewer fund disbursements in the amount of $204,489.80. Community Development Block Grant Fund disbursement in the amount of $59,986.26. Capital Project Fund disbursements in the amount of $614,216.39. The American Rescue Plan Fund disbursements in the amount of $374,095.82. And a credit card statement ending June 27th of 2025 in the amount of $26,849.42.
We've heard a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Heard a motion and a second. The motion's now open for discussion. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues on the board? Hearing none, Mr. Berman, please take the roll.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. We'll now move on to agenda item number 10, appointments. Bless you. I'll begin with entertaining a motion for an appointment for the Library Board of Trustees.
President Trombetta, a motion to appoint Nicole Bruno to the Library Board of Trustees for the unexpired term ending December 31st, 2026.
And I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Motion's now open for discussion. Are there any other nominees for this position, or is there a motion to close?
Madam President,
Oh, go ahead.
I move we nominate Regina Colantonio.
Second.
It's a motion and a second for Regina Colantonio. Any other nominees, or is there a motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion to close and a second. So all those in favor of closing the nominations, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The board will now consider Nicole Bruno or Regina Colantonio for the Library Board of Trustees for the unexpired term ending December 31st, 2026. Mr. Berman, please take the roll.
Commissioner Gondik.
Nicole Bruno.
Commissioner Cavender.
Regina Colantonio.
Commissioner Holmes.
Ms. Colantonio.
Commissioner Quinn.
Nicole Bruno.
Commissioner Hart.
Nicole Bruno.
Commissioner McCullum.
Nicole Bruno.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Ms. Colantino.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Ms. Colantonio. That leaves us tied.
Correct.
What do we do in the event of a tie?
We wait till next month?
I'd recommend that there is no motion that would carry at that point in time. So I'd recommend that you would table the decision. Otherwise, it would be denied, and that
Right.
wouldn't work either way.
Okay, very good. So we'll table it until next month. Can I get a voice vote to agree to table it till next month?
Yes.
Aye.
Yes, aye.
You say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the motion has been tabled until next month. Thank you. We'll now move on to the appointment for one vacancy for the Shade Tree Commission. I'll entertain a motion.
President Trombetta, motion to appoint Sandy Martin to the Shade Tree Commission for the unexpired term ending December 31st, 2026.
Second.
Second.
Heard a motion and a second. Are there any other nominations for the Shade Tree Commission, or is there a motion to close?
Motion to close.
Is there a second for that? With a voice vote, all those in favor of closing nominations, please say aye.
Aye.
Any objections, please say nay. Any abstentions? Mr. Berman, please take the roll.
Commissioner Gondik.
Ms. Martin.
Commissioner Cavender.
Sandy Martin.
Commissioner Holmes.
Martin.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Ms. Martin.
Commissioner McCullum.
Sandy Martin.
Commissioner McCluskey. Commissioner Trombetta.
Sandy Martin. Congratulations to Ms. Martin. We now move on to agenda item number 11, resolutions. The board will consider 3 resolutions this evening. So we'll begin with resolution number 2453-2025, which pertains to the CDBG action plan for year 51. I'll now entertain a motion.
Motion to adopt resolution number 2453-2025, approving the allocation of funds for the year 51 CDBG action plan.
Heard a motion, is there a second?
Second.
We've heard a first and a second. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues on the board? Hearing none, we move to a vote. Mr. Berman.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb. Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes, motion carries. We'll now move on to resolution number 2454-2025, which pertains to approving the CDBG plan for years 48 and 50. I'll now entertain a motion.
Motion to adopt resolution number 2453-2025, approving the revised allocation of funds for the years 48 and 50 CDBG action plan.
Heard a motion, is there a second?
I'll second it, but I also think that for this one, isn't it, I think there's a typo in our agenda. I think this resolution is 2454 of 2025.
Oh, my apologies. Number 2454.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Motion's now open for discussion. Any further questions or comments from my colleagues on the board? Hearing none, Mr. Berman, please take the roll.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Jeez.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you.
Motion.
Yes, please.
Motion to adopt resolution number 2455 of 2025, adopting a revision to the Haverford Township sewage facility plans for unsewered areas of the township.
So we've been asked to remove this agenda item for discussion until next month. Well, let's start with, is there a second? We've heard a motion to table.
Get the motion to table?
Motion to table. Yes.
I was just correct.
Okay. So with that, we've heard a motion to table. All those in favor of tabling until next month, please say aye.
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 Any opposition? Any abstentions? Hearing none, we'll table until next month. Thank you. So we now move on to resolution number 2456-2025, which pertains to the approval of a land development plan for the crossbar at 2225 Darby Road. I'll now entertain a motion.
President Trombetta, motion to adopt resolution number 2456, 2025, approving the preliminary final subdivision and land development plan
for CMC Havertown LP for a two-lot consolidation and a building addition at 2225 Darby Road, Havertown, the crossbar.
I've heard a motion. There's a second. Thank you. Motion's now open for discussion. We do have a representative from the Crossbar here tonight. If anybody does have any questions or comments or would like to hear further,
I do have a question.
then great. Let's let him come up and then.
I'm Sean Paul from Lynn Architects, part of the design team.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I think-
My question is, I understand the lot consolidation. It's the building addition. When I look at the blueprints or the plans, it looks like you're putting a second floor on a building that already has a second floor. So, I mean, am I missing something?
There's no second floor. We're putting an addition next to the existing building. There's no second floor on our proposed building. This is just a just a space.
So, okay, I didn't see that picture.
Right,
I
yeah.
just saw the blueprint. So you're basically taking what is now the tented area and turning it into a permanent
Exactly.
structure.
Correct. Yeah. So right now
That makes more sense.
The
Okay.
building exists in this hatched area. We're proposing an addition here. It's a little smaller than the existing tenant area in the parking lot. This is on a separate parcel, so the reverse subdivision to build this addition onto this structure, along with an easement for this for the structure for the building for the property next door, also owned by the same property owner, to utilize that area for parking for ingress and egress from the site.
That makes sense. And I see a request for a waiver for curbing. Is that correct?
It's for, in the back parking area, there is no curbing. If we do add curbing to that area, we could create a ponding effect behind the structure, which would shoot water into the back kitchen area. So just a waiver for curbing along.
Oh, so this, okay, so that has nothing to do with Darby Road. This is behind.
Darby
the
Road
rear
already
of the
has a
property.
curb.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
The Planning Commission discussions 2 months ago, I believe, the item was brought up that we've added to the plans since that meeting was if any sidewalk, curb, driveway apron gets destroyed during the construction process, it will be replaced according to township specifications at that time. There is a sidewalk out front. There is a curb out front. There's a secondary curb that runs through the planning area, which I was told was from an old trolley line. But that's already there. It's existing. We are just going to replace in kind with what gets destroyed during construction, if any gets destroyed during construction. We assume some part of the apron will have to get replaced with concrete trucks pulling up to pour the new foundations, so we're prepared for that. We are adding additional landscaping out front. Planning Commission brought up planting more native species out front, taking out the boxwood plants that are out front, adding some additional landscaping along with the Shade Tree Commission recommendations for the tree out front, and the whole site reduces impervious coverage. So our stormwater management is reduction of impervious coverage.
Thank you for clarifying this.
Any further questions or comments from my colleagues?
I will have to abstain from this vote because I am related to the owners of the bar.
Thank you. Further
I
comments?
just want to clarify, we're seeking 5 waivers under the
Yes,
resolution,
yes.
right?
Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Berman, please take a roll.
Commissioner Gondek?
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender?
No.
Commissioner Holmes?
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn?
Abstain.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum?
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey?
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta?
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. Thanks for coming out tonight. So we'll now move on to agenda item number 12, stipulations and agreements, beginning with a business tax settlement. I will now entertain a motion.
A motion to approve a business privilege and mercantile tax settlement.
Is there a second? Thank you. Motion is second. The motion is now open for discussion. Any questions or comments from my colleagues on the board? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Mr. Berman, please.
Commissioner Gondek?
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender?
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes?
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn?
Yes.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum?
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey?
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta?
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. We'll now move on to a real estate tax assessment appeals. forgive me. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the following settlements and stipulations of council in the matter of 2 owner-initiated property tax assessment appeals for a property located at 2328 Poplar Road for a property located at 1300 North Up Road.
Second.
I heard a motion and a second. The motion's now open for discussion. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues on the board?
Madam President,
Yes.
is there any reason why these shouldn't be separated or why they're together?
Mr. Walker?
If there's a desire to vote on each one separately, we could amend the agenda to separate them. The reason I believe they were together is that they are the same applicant or the same landowner for both property. But that would just be a matter of how this board would like to address them.
That's fine. I'm just curious why they were that way. Thank you.
Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Berman, will you please take the roll?
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes. Yes to both.
Thank you. Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. We'll now move on to agenda item number 13, contract awards. I'll entertain a motion regarding a public works contract for leaf hauling and composting service.
Madam President.
Yes, Commissioner
Motion to
McCollum.
award a contract for leaf hauling and composting services for the period from November 1st, 2025 through October 31st, 2027 to American Biosoils and Compost, having the lowest responsible bid.
Second.
Heard a motion and a second. The motion's now open for discussion. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues on the board? Hearing none. Mr. Berman.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. I'll now entertain a motion regarding a contract for Public Works contract for gasoline and diesel fuel supply.
Madam President.
Yes, Commissioner McComb.
Motion to award a contract for gasoline and diesel fuel supply for the period from July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 to Petroleum Traders Corporation, having the lowest responsible bid.
Second.
Heard a motion and a second. The motion's now open for discussion. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues on the board? Hearing none, Mr. Berman, please take the roll.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes, motion carries. I will now entertain a motion regarding a change order for a stadium locker room renovation project with SB Conrad. Perhaps before we'll accept the motion and then we'll invite Mr. Matthews up. So first a motion.
Madam President, a motion to approve a change order in the amount of $22,826.69 with SB Conrad, the general contractor for the stadium locker room renovation project.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Great. Motion's now open for discussion. Mr. Matthews, if you would join us up here.
Can you talk about both of them?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind addressing both change orders for the stadium locker room renovation, that'd be great.
So, I mean, there's nothing out of the ordinary here. We had some, existing condition measurements, which is why we had to move to tile a few showers. We literally were down to the inches and could not fit the prefabricated fiberglass shower, so that's why that had to be done. You have to keep all your A clearances in the bathroom. And then there was an area the architect didn't have a ceiling in, so after discussions, it made sense to add a ceiling for the renovation in the one locker room. We had some existing doors that are really in poor shape, so it made sense to use some contingency money to replace them. And then as far as the electrician, he was just associated with the ceiling work, moving some lights, getting some new lights, and then there were some transformers that needed to be provided because of different voltages. So, I mean, these are all pretty standard items that you would run across and why you have contingency. Your contingency for the project was $200,000. We have about $134,000 left of that. So, and we're basically wrapping things up. So right now, they're finishing the flooring. We have some partitions to put in, punch list, and clean up. So by the end of next week, really should be wrapped up with everything. So things have gone well. A couple little things, but nothing out of the ordinary.
When do they expect them to be functional? Do you know?
By the end of next week. Yeah. It really just the flooring, everybody has to get out of the way because of the glue, et cetera. It has to sit there, cure. Then the partitions go in next Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's it. Just a little bit of final cleanup and any little touch-up punch list. So should be pretty minimal.
I got a tour of it last Wednesday, and it's very impressive.
Yeah,
It's great work.
It makes such a difference. Yes, turned out well.
Wonderful. Looking forward to seeing it. Any further questions or comments from my colleagues from Mr. Matthews? Hearing none, just from your excuse. Thank you. Reminder, we have a motion on the table for SB Conrad, the general contractor. That's for $22,826.69. Hearing no further questions or comments, we'll take the roll. Berman.
Commissioner Gondik. Yes. Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart. Yes. Commissioner McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey. Yes. Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. We'll now move on to the second motion for change order related to AJM Electric.
Motion to approve a change order in the amount of $8,185. Sorry. Motion to approve a change order in the amount of $8,185.36 with AJM Electric, Inc., the electric contractor for the skating locker room renovation project.
Heard a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Heard a motion and a second. The motion's now open for discussion. Any questions or comments from my colleagues on the board? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. Mr. Berman, please take the roll.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. We'll now continue with the Citizens Forum, providing an opportunity for any member of the public who wishes to address the board. Kindly, again, ask that you keep your remarks to approximately 3 minutes. Start on the left-hand side. Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Joe Selfridge, and I live at 1333 Darby Road. I'm a grandfather. I got 3 grandkids on Hastings, 3 on Benedict. I'm concerned about these scooters. I'm sure you all are. If you've seen them, know what they're doing. It's horrible. It's horribly dangerous, and I'm sure you also know we had a child we lost in Aston recently. My question is, I understand that they're illegal. That's first and foremost. And I don't know if that can be confirmed by the board and the solicitor or whatever, but my understanding is they're illegal to be operated on highways in Pennsylvania. So if that's true, that makes it easy. I mean, that's the easy part. But the second part is enforcement of that. And are there enforcement procedures? I don't know what they could be, what they, confiscation or I can't imagine you can give a citation to an 8-year-old, but there's 8-year-old kids riding these things. They're horribly dangerous. So that's my question. Both, is there legality, which I don't think there is, and are there enforcement procedures? And what can we do about it? And personally, I think before school opens again, be a good time to nail it down and also get the schools to cooperate and say, you can't ride these things. My grandkids were riding them. The parents they need to be reinforced because you know what it's like if you have kids, everybody's doing it. And when everybody's doing it, if you've ever driven on highways and speed limits, you know how that goes. Before the schools get open, I mean, is that possible to get something answered in, a month?
Thank you. So what we'll do is we'll take all comments and then we'll offer remarks following all of the comments from the, but we do plan to address that. Thank you.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah. So sit tight. Yes, Mr. Lee.
Hi, my name's Michael Lee. I'm a Haverford Township resident. I wanted to talk about the steering committee that we're hearing about the zoning upcoming. I'm really concerned about this. We had all these errata changes at the last meeting. None of us saw them. And it seemed to me when I was listening to them that they just would pertain to a great number of places throughout the township, particularly from Eagle Road to Township Line, which is all listed, at least on the plan, as being part of the mixed-use area. So I'm really concerned because we were told the comprehensive plan really just a blueprint, doesn't matter. Zoning really matters. And we need to have people really involved with this. So will the steering committee be open to the public? And I think that's the only way that we can do things to make sure the public has maximum input. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Thank you. Any further comments from anyone on the left-hand side? Yes, Ms. Albury.
Michelle Alvarez. I just have one question. Are we going to have a grand opening for the stadium? I haven't heard anything about that. So you can answer that later. Thank you.
Thank you. Further comments on the left-hand side? No? Okay. Right-hand side? Anybody on the right-hand side for comments? Okay, hearing none. We'll start with response. Chief Iola, I'm going to ask you to help respond to questions about e-scooters enforcement and what we can do here at the township level.
Grandkids aren't going to like you after we spoke about that tonight. But listen, all kidding aside, we agree with you 100%. We've discussed this at length with the police department and the commissioners. Here's the problem.
Chief, your mic?
It is on.
Oh, it is on.
Closer? Is that better? Okay. I'm going to give you this fact sheet tonight so you can look at it yourself. When you look at the fact sheet that PennDOT gives out, it's listings for electric scooter, a motorized pedicycle, motor scooter, Segway, e-bike, and bicycle. Very conflicting in all of those lines. When it comes to an electric scooter, there are no requirements, with the exception can only operate on private property. So there's no safety concerns or safety enforcement that the police department can do. So then you go back to if we consider passing a township ordinance or trying to enforce safety, it involves a lot of work because the officers are required to take that child into the police station and notify their parents. We don't want to be the bad guys in this, but we want everybody to be safe. We understand what you're saying. I'm not trying to shirk anything here, but it is a serious problem because PennDOT has not given us any direction. So therefore, we can't write any citations. And when you look at an electric scooter or an e-bike and a motorized pedicycle, you can't tell the difference by looking at them, but they both have different requirements. We have spoken to our state representatives. We're working with other chiefs of police to try and get something passed. And to answer your question, we get something done by September. Even if the commissioners were proposing an ordinance, we would need 60 days, am I correct, to pass that? So it wouldn't make it, we don't have anything definitive yet. I'm not trying to give you a short answer. I wish we could do more, and we want to do more. We are working with the schools on safety programs to try and tell these children how to ride them and where to ride them and wear helmets. But you say it like I see it, 2 or 3 kids on these motorized scooters zipping down the street. They are dangerous.
Yeah, I understand, I do. But if it means an ordinance as a first step, I really think the thought of teaching them how to ride them better, this was pointless. They don't know how to drive, and they're not going to know how to drive.
They do not.
So,
we honest to God, we are working to try and come up with some solution to this, and we have been talking to the school district. I don't think we have any power to tell the school district of who can ride or what on their property, but I think they have the same concerns that we do.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Any further comments, my colleagues on the board?
If I have a brief comment, just with regards to Mr. Lee's question or comments, I would just say that the steering committee that has been formed, and I won't go through all the membership, but it's composed of 4 commissioners, Ms. Jalosian, other township officials, and then representatives from the stakeholders. Other stakeholders in the process. The purpose of the kickoff meeting is to kind of create the foundation and put together kind of a framework for how this project is going to move forward. One of the topics that will be discussed and fleshed out at that point would be public participation, public notification. That kickoff meeting is going to occur between now and our next commissioners meeting. So I would anticipate by the next commissioners meeting, there will be further information available about specifics. But we haven't had the kickoff meeting yet, so there really isn't any specifics to give. That's going to happen in a couple weeks. Ms. Jelosian, does that sound correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
I'm just concerned because, I go up to the mic, I'm just concerned that the State Streets all portion between the county and the steering committee here, we never saw it until months later when we were passing the resolution. So it just seems like things get lost in the residents.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Your point is well taken. And I would just say, again, I mean, we've heard it now twice, that there really is a plan for a public engagement process. We're taking your feedback seriously. We took the feedback from, the passage and adoption of our comprehensive plan. Lessons learned, and we're continuing to strive for more engagement. Thank you.
And as for the ice rink, I don't know, Ms. Gutherson, is there anything planned? I know the ice rink committee meets tomorrow night, so I don't know if that's going to be a topic tomorrow night, but is anything that you're aware of ribbon cutting?
We do meet tomorrow night, and we have tossed around some ideas. We're not exactly sure on the opening day. Construction may finish soon, but there's a lot of cleaning that needs to be done. There's some aesthetics work that needs to be worked into. So we're not quite firm yet on that opening day. Also, I know the user groups and the teams are very anxious to get in, so we were tossing around the idea of maybe having an open house day where any member of the public could just go through the locker rooms, check them out before we open them up to team use. So like you said, we're going to finalize those plans tomorrow night, and we'll make sure that gets out through a constant contact and on the Scadium social media pages as well.
Thank you for clarifying.
And I mean, seriously, like, you cut a ribbon on a store, you want to be the first one in there to buy something. Do you want to be the first one to flush one of the toilets? Is that what you want to do? I mean,
The Salvery does, is the answer.
Right now, all the hockey players and the skaters are changing in tents, out next to the boards, and they are anxious to get in there.
Thank you. Any further comments, questions from my colleagues? All right. Thank you for coming and participating in public comment. So we'll now move on to new business. Are there any matters that my colleagues wish to bring forward for discussion at this time under new business? Hearing none, we'll move on to other business portion of our meeting, during which commissioners may make their final remarks. We'll start with First Ward Commissioner Brian Gondek.
Thank you. I just want to reiterate something that was brought up earlier. Just a thank you to all of the township employees and all of our first responders who have really been getting a workout over the last couple of weeks with all of these storms. You have all been doing an excellent job, and just thank you very much for all of your hard work and dedication on that. Other than that, we're kind of halfway through the summer. We're in the home stretch before school. It'll be here in no time. So I hope everyone enjoys the remainder of summer, and maybe the sun will come out a little bit more than this rain will. Other than that, I have nothing. Have a good day.
Thank you. We'll move on to Board Commissioner Laura Cavender. Commissioner Cavender, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to provide a quick update on a demonstration project that the township is conducting on Buck Lane. So within the next few weeks, Haverford will begin a traffic safety demonstration project on the 800 block of Buck Lane. That's between Railroad Avenue and Panmure Road. So this is a result of the findings from the Brynford traffic study in 2023, which was funded as part of the larger Safe Streets and Roads for All program. So the features that will happen on the road in this demonstration project are converting Buck Lane to one-way northbound travel to reduce southbound cut-through traffic, and it will improve pedestrian and bike safety. The roadway will be reconfigured for one lane of traffic, a buffer, and a protected multi-use path for pedestrians and cyclists, and temporarily eliminating on-street parking on the block during the project. Township is also coordinating with local schools to adjust transportation routes, And we'll also be soliciting feedback from residents who live in that area on how this demonstration project is working on the ground as the project goes on. So if you notice signage changes there, that's what's happening. I also just want to build on a couple of my questions from earlier, share some thoughts about the unique nature of the Haverford Road corridor as we move into the process of rewriting our zoning code. So the Haverford Road corridor runs through the middle of wards 5 and 6. It's home to nearly 9,200 residents. It's about 18% of our township's population. So we have residential neighborhoods, we have long-term businesses, a major transportation route, all existing side by side on Haverford Road. I just want to acknowledge a little bit of the lived reality on the ground in this corridor. Township is still considering PennDOT's proposed changes to Haverford Road in the form of a road diet. Whatever actions are taken as a result of these changes will be important to the flow of the neighborhood, for the residents of the neighborhood. Haverford Road is a major transportation artery. The neighborhoods north of it are dense and narrow. There's a lot of through traffic, and these decisions will affect how these neighborhoods function. And then I also want to emphasize that during the comprehensive plan process, the future of Haverford Road was probably the single most discussed topic. So residents along the corridor have invested substantial time and thought into this process. I think the process we're undertaking with the zoning ordinance is important. I think it's important how people move through neighborhoods, how safe they are, how livable they are, and how livable they stay, and how we preserve neighborhood character while managing growth. So I just want to emphasize my support of making sure that all voices are heard as we shape the future of our township. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Cavender. We'll move on to 6th Ward Commissioner Larry Holmes. Commissioner Holmes.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to thank the South Ardmore Betterment Alliance and all the fire companies that participated in and planned the annual 4th of July picnic at Elwell. It was a really great day and once again a great neighborhood party. And it's one of my favorite things about our town is that there's so many small neighborhood parties that go on that day, and it makes us just all very proud to be from Haverford. So I wanted to call them out, thank them in particular, and wish everybody a good middle of the summer, and we'll see you all in August.
Thank you, Commissioner Holmes. We'll move on to 7th Ward Commissioner Connor Quinn. Commissioner Quinn.
I would like to say that the Grange Estate will be having a honey sale on July 26th from 10 to 1, and they will also have the gift shop there will be open as well. And I would also like to say, during the storm, we got lots of calls, and some of the calls were about their lights were off, and they were asking us when their lights would come back on. And I'd like to say that we do not know when your lights will come back on, and you should call Pico about that. And or this thing I've realized over the year, and lots of people walk into the street when they're out for their walks, when there's a sidewalk right there. So I don't get why they do it, but I would urge you to walk on the sidewalk and not on the street. So just wanted to point that out too, and have a great rest of your month. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner Quinn. We'll move on to 8th Ward Commissioner Jerry Hart.
Maybe trying to avoid the electric scooters that are on the sidewalk. I just want to add my thanks to the Public Works Department, especially the tree crew. The 8th Ward lost a lot of trees, as did the township in general. I know trees are not particularly popular with a lot of people right now, as if you lost power or you had a lot of damage, but please, if you lost a tree, and we need to replace them. So it's a situation where, you might have had the wrong tree in the location, put something back in that's a better fit for that location. There's also a lot of questions of what the township is responsible for. What's a street tree? A street tree is a tree that's in the right of way, and those trees are the responsibility of the township. The township prunes them, the township, if they come down, the township will clear them. Determining whether it's in the right of way is a difficult thing. You can check with the Public Works Department. You can also check on your deed, which will show you where the right of way. You can't say, well, at one point, somebody 20 years ago from the township cut a branch off that tree. That doesn't mean it's a street tree. So the township does take care of the trees that are in the right of way, but the rest of them, unfortunately, are responsibility of property owners. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Hart. We'll move on to 9th Ward Commissioner Mike McComb. Commissioner McComb.
Thank you. As did several others, I also would like to thank Dave Berman, Dan Mariani, Dan Wentz, and the Public Works crew in general. They did a tremendous job all hours of the day and night in horrific conditions with the heat, no electric. So great job to all of them. The only other thing I have is a congratulations to a local organization of 8, 10, and 12-year-old girls. Hilltop Softball League captured for each division the Mid-Atlantic Regional Championships this past weekend, competing against teams from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and New York. So congrats to those young ladies.
We'll move on to Vice President McCluskey.
Sure. I don't have anything really much new. I'll just expand a little bit on points that have already been made, but just thanked all the volunteers for the July 4th activities at various parts of the town. All those events are run by the communities, by the neighborhoods, and it takes a lot of effort from some people to put them forward. So, and it makes our town look good. So those volunteers in whatever part of the township or whatever park you are associated with, thank you for all that you did to make it a special day for the neighborhoods. And then just to reiterate the thanks to the Public Works crew and all the work they did with the storms. And I would even thank the PICO workers that were working on the trees. I know PICO's not people's biggest fans in Haverford Township these days, but the workers that were out there were working very long hours in sometimes dangerous conditions and sometimes sweltering conditions. So, appreciation for all they did to keep our electricity. And it's a testament to sort of modern life, all that we sort of rely on for electricity in that nation, in that activity. So appreciation to those men and women that were doing that work as well. That's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you, Vice President McCluskey. First, I want to highlight the Kelly Center's First Fest is happening this Saturday from 3 to 9 p.m. at Paddock Park, and everyone is invited to attend. Co-hosted by the Paddock Farm Civic Association. This special community event features an incredible lineup of live music, family-friendly activities, and a shared spirit of appreciation for our township's first responders. Importantly, proceeds from the event will go towards supporting our volunteer fire companies whose service is essential to the safety and well-being to our community. So it's a great opportunity to come together, enjoy local talent, and give back to those who give so much to us. So I hope to see you there. Also, I mentioned this during a previous meeting, but I wanted to reiterate my serious concerns about the ongoing SEPTA funding crisis and share what I think it means for Haverford Township, our regional economy, and the quality of life in southeastern Pennsylvania. So on June 26th, as an update, SEPTA's board voted to approve a fiscal year 2026 budget that includes a 45% cut in service and a 21.5% fare increase to close out a $213 million budget gap. These drastic changes include the elimination of approximately 50 bus routes, 66 rail stations, and 5 regional rail lines, with service beginning in late August and continuing into the new year. Many Haverford Township residents rely on SEPTA every day to get to work, school, and appointments, to access arts, culture, and healthcare across the region. Students, working families, seniors, and people with disabilities will be disproportionately affected by these cuts. If these cuts go into effect, we risk pushing more cars onto our already congested roads, harming our environment, and weakening our regional economy. At a time when the Philadelphia region is preparing to host the 2026 FIFA World Cup and celebrate America 250, which is expected to bring millions of visitors to our region, public transportation is more critical now than ever. And so I'm bringing this up now because the state legislature is still in budget negotiations, so now is the time to speak up. I urge residents to contact their state legislators to demand sustainable, long-term funding for public transit, not only for the benefit of SEPTA riders, but for the health, mobility, and economic strength of our entire region. So with that said, are there any final comments from my colleagues on this board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Moved.
Thank you. Meeting's adjourned.